The world of classical music was left heartbroken when news broke that André Rieu, often called the King of the Waltz, was facing a serious and unexpected health challenge. For decades, André had brought joy to millions of people across the globe through his violin and the unforgettable magic of his Johann Strauss orchestra. His music had turned concert halls into places of happiness and unity. But suddenly, the cheerful lights dimmed, and the stage fell silent. His upcoming concerts were cancelled, and for the first time in years, the world of waltz seemed still. What made the situation even more emotional was the sight of his son, André Rieu, stepping forward to speak on behalf of his father. His words were filled with sadness and love as he thanked fans around the world for their endless support and shared that his father's health made it difficult to continue performing at the same pace. This moment felt like a farewell not only from a musician, but from a man who had dedicated his life to bringing beauty into people's lives. It was a moment of truth, reminding everyone that even the brightest stars face their own struggles behind the scenes. André Leon Marie Nicolas Rieu was born on October 1, 1949, in Maastricht, the Netherlands. From the very beginning, music was a natural part of his life. His father, also named André, was a respected conductor, and the Rieu family home was always filled with melodies and rehearsals. Surrounded by this musical atmosphere, young André quickly fell in love with the violin. He started playing at an early age, showing incredible passion and skill. His parents supported his dream and enrolled him in some of Europe's most famous conservatories, including the Maastricht Conservatory, the Royal Conservatory of Liege, and later, the Royal Conservatory of Brussels. These years of study shaped him into a musician with both deep knowledge and emotional expression. André wasn't content with just playing the violin. He dreamed of bringing classical music to everyone, not just to those sitting in fancy concert halls. This dream became the driving force of his entire career. He wanted to make classical music fun, beautiful, and alive again, something people of all ages could enjoy together. After finishing his studies, André worked in several orchestras across Europe during the 1970s. Although he was a talented violinist, he hadn't yet found his unique identity in the music world. Everything changed in 1978 when he created a small group inspired by the music of Johann Strauss. His goal was simple but revolutionary: to bring the joyful sound of the waltz back to life. This small group eventually grew into the Johann Strauss Orchestra, officially formed in 1987 with just 12 members. Over time, it expanded to more than 60 musicians, becoming the largest private orchestra in the world. With their elegant costumes, cheerful performances, and lively atmosphere, André and his orchestra began to stand out in the classical music scene. By the early 1990s, they were performing sold-out concerts across Europe. His 1994 album, Strauss & Co., was a major success, launching him to international fame. André didn't just play music. He created an experience. His concerts felt like grand celebrations where audiences laughed, danced, and even cried. He proved that classical music could be both emotional and entertaining, something to be enjoyed by everyone, not only by experts or the wealthy. The 1990s and 2000s were a golden period for André Rieu. He became one of the most successful touring musicians in the world, not just in classical music, but across all genres. His concerts in countries like Germany, the UK, the United States, Australia, and Japan were always sold out. He turned classical music into a worldwide phenomenon. According to Billboard, André Rieu ranked among the top 10 highest-grossing touring artists in the world, often competing with pop and rock stars. His albums and DVDs sold over 40 million copies globally, earning him countless gold and platinum awards. What made André truly unique was his ability to connect with his audience. He didn't stand far away behind a podium like traditional conductors. Instead, he smiled, joked, and talked with the crowd, making everyone feel part of the music. His orchestra also became like a big family, traveling together across continents and sharing their passion for music with millions. But behind this huge success was also a man who worked tirelessly, sometimes performing more than 100 concerts a year. The demands of touring eventually began to take a toll on his health, André's dedication to his art came with a cost. In 2010, he suffered a serious health problem known as a vestibular disorder, caused by an inflamed nerve in the ear that affects balance. The condition left him dizzy and unable to perform, forcing him to cancel many concerts. Fans around the world were worried, and André later admitted that this period was one of the most difficult times of his career. Even after recovering, he faced challenges with his stamina, especially during long tours and performances in high-altitude areas like Mexico. The years that followed also brought emotional pain when a member of his orchestra passed away in 2016. Still, André showed incredible strength and returned to the stage, performing again with his usual warmth and humor. But, as he entered his 70s, it became clear that maintaining such an intense touring schedule was becoming harder. Fans started noticing Pierre Rieu, André's eldest son, taking a bigger role in managing and representing his father's orchestra. This change marked the beginning of a new chapter, one where the family began to prepare for the future while protecting André's legacy. As André's health challenges became more serious, his family decided to share the truth with the public. His son Pierre, who had been managing many aspects of his father's career, stepped forward to make an emotional announcement. In a heartfelt message, Pierre revealed that his father had received a serious diagnosis and needed to focus on his health. He expressed deep gratitude to fans for their endless love and support, and shared that the family would continue André's mission of spreading joy through music. Not long after, during one special concert, Pierre walked on stage and spoke directly to the audience. He explained that his father could no longer perform at the same intensity, but wanted everyone to remember that his love for them and for music remained unchanged. The crowd responded with tears, applause, and admiration. It was more than just a farewell. It was a moment of unity and respect between an artist, his family, and millions of devoted fans. The sight of Pierre standing where his father once stood symbolized both an ending and a beginning, a passing of the torch from one generation to the next. Even though André could no longer perform as often, his legacy was far from over. His orchestra, his family, and his fans ensured that the magic he created would continue. The Johann Strauss Orchestra remained active, performing tribute concerts and releasing recordings from past tours. Pierre and the rest of the team began planning new projects that would honor his father's work while adapting to modern times. Digital platforms such as YouTube, Spotify, and concert streaming services allowed André's music to reach new generations who might never have attended a live show. The orchestra also started focusing more on digital concerts and remastered footage from André's past performances. These projects not only kept his music alive, but also showed how timeless his art truly was. For many fans, hearing André's violin, even through a screen, still brought comfort and joy. His dream of making classical music accessible to everyone had come true, and it continued to grow even in his absence. André's influence also inspired countless young musicians to see that classical music could be modern, fun, and full of life. André Rieu's work has gone far beyond entertainment. His concerts have had a real impact on local economies, especially in his hometown of Maastricht. Every summer, thousands of fans travel there to attend his outdoor concerts, filling hotels, restaurants, and shops. The entire city turns into a festival of music, joy, and togetherness. This economic boost shows how powerful art can be, not only to move hearts, but also to bring people together in celebration. André's approach to classical music changed the way the world sees the genre. Before him, many people thought classical concerts were serious, formal, and reserved for experts. But André broke that barrier. He brought laughter, color, and dance to the stage, making classical music feel as exciting as a pop concert. His orchestra became the largest private orchestra in the world, operating independently without government funding. This freedom allowed André and his team to make creative choices that connected directly with the audience. In doing so, he built not just a musical empire, but also a model for how passion and creativity can make classical music thrive in the modern age. As André steps back from the stage, his legacy continues through his family and his orchestra. Pierre Rieu now carries the responsibility of managing and protecting his father's musical empire. He has shown great leadership and respect for the legacy his father built. Together with his brother and the orchestra members, he aims to keep André's dream alive, while introducing new ways to share their music. Future projects may include documentaries, educational programs for young musicians, and collaborations with cultural organizations around. Behind every great artist lies a human story full of hope, sacrifice, and emotion. For André Rieu, fame and success never erased his humble heart. Despite selling millions of records and performing before world leaders, he always described himself as a simple man who loves to play the violin. When reporters asked him what success meant, Rieu didn't talk about awards or money. He said it was about seeing happiness on people's faces when he played. To him, music was not about showing off skill, it was about touching souls. That gentle attitude made him loved not only as a musician but also as a person. Fans around the world often say that when they attend his concerts, they feel like they're part of a big family, smiling, dancing, and crying together. André's connection with his audience is deeply personal. He often tells small stories on stage, jokes with the crowd, or shares memories about his orchestra. He treats his musicians as equals and often refers to them as his second family. Many of them have been with him for decades, traveling the world together. When one of his musicians got married, Rieu performed at the wedding. When someone faced hard times, he supported them financially. This sense of unity is one of the biggest secrets behind the success of the Johann Strauss Orchestra. It's not just a group of musicians, it's a team bound by love and respect, and that spirit shows in every performance. Beyond the stage lights and applause, Rieu's family played a central role in his journey. His wife, André Rieu, has been with him since the early days when they both struggled to make ends meet. She managed much of his business affairs, wrote books about his life, and kept him grounded when fame could have easily gone to his head. André often says that Marjorie is his anchor, the person who keeps him steady when the world spins too fast. Their marriage, which began long before he became famous, is a testament to patience and trust. While André charmed millions on stage, Marjorie worked quietly in the background, ensuring everything ran smoothly. Their two sons, Pierre and Marc, also became part of his musical legacy. Pierre, the older one, manages many aspects of André's concerts and production work. He inherited his father's creativity but channels it through logistics and organization, making sure every concert runs perfectly. Marc, on the other hand, followed his own artistic path. Together, the family represents a blend of love and teamwork that kept Rieu's empire both professional and deeply human. During emotional interviews, André often tears up when he talks about how proud he is of his family. He once said, "Without them, there would be no music." It's this heartfelt appreciation that keeps audiences connected to him, because beneath the fame, he's still a husband, a father, and a dreamer, facing health challenges and the power of resilience in recent years. André's life took a difficult turn when health problems began to interfere with his performances. Though he rarely spoke in detail about his condition, he did share moments of struggle. Some years ago, a serious vestibular disorder, an illness affecting the inner ear and balance, forced him to cancel several tours. For a man who lives to perform, it was devastating. "It felt like the world was spinning," he said in an interview. "I could not stand without feeling dizzy."